Welcome back to By George. Today we're having a quick look at the M.G.4. This is literally just off the truck from the ship. It's just got in the country, so we're not going to go too in depth on it. If you want to see a program that's really in depth about all the gauges and how all the software works and what have you, I'll leave the link above to a gentleman in Auckland who does a really good view of all those detailed things. But today we're just going to have a look at the car. Does it look good? Is it a nice car to drive? Would we actually buy one with our own money? And let me tell you, just driving out here today, just in the short time we've had the car, yes, I would buy one with my money. It's a nice car to drive, the acceleration's good, it looks good. It comes in several colours. We actually quite fancy the grey. It's a bit more subdued, but lots of people, especially younger people with families, will enjoy the blues and the oranges and the greens and what have you. It's good to have a car with a bit of colour because so many of them are just boring drab, white, grey, black Euro boxes. Well, at the front of the M.G.4, there is no space to store things. You've got to remember this car also comes out as a four-wheel drive car, which is very fast, and we're getting that in New Zealand maybe towards the end of this year or early next year. And that's the very, very fast X-Power version. And because these cars are designed to have a motor at the front, they don't give you a little frunk at the front. But there's plenty of room in the back, so it's not really an issue. The M.G.4 looks even better in real life than it does in pictures. It's a very stylish and trendy looking car. Below the front bumper is louvers that open and close to cool the battery when required. All models come with LED headlights. At the back of the car there are two spoilers, very stylish and improve aerodynamics. These are only available on the mid and upper range models. The back of the M.G.4 is a very clean, tidy design with an MG badge built into the rear spoiler. The boot size on the M.G.4 is approximately 350 litres. It's big enough to hold two Samsonite suitcases, so when you go to the airport on a trip or something, you can get your luggage in, no trouble at all. It doesn't have a spare wheel, it has a tyre repair kit with it, which is the modern trend. The boot's big enough to do everything you want. The two seats, as always, fold down. It doesn't have an armrest push through, so you can't get your skis through in one go. So that's one disadvantage. The floor on this is at two heights, so it can be lower or higher. If you're just doing your grocery shopping, just put it in at the higher one, and if you need more space, you can drop it down. It's quite a good feature. The interior and driving position of the M.G.4 are very good. All the screens are easy to read, all the controls come easily to hand. The steering wheel is an unusual shape, but it doesn't take you very long to get used to it. One thing you do have to get used to on an EV is the wider door sill. You have to remember to give your ankle a little bit of clearance when you get in. The thing that appeals to me most about the M.G.4 is it's just a little bit smaller than the SUVs. A lot of SUVs are too big for what you actually need. This is fine height for the kids. It's a bit lower, so it makes it nice and easy for getting children in and out. And it's just a bit more comfortable to sit in too, because you're not climbing into things all the time. It actually does have a good feeling getting inside it. The shape and look of the car are very nice from every angle. They come on two size tyres, 17-inch and 18-inch. This is the 65 kilowatt car on 18-inch wheels. What the kilowatt cycle is just simply a measure of how much capacity you have in the batteries. So these start with the 51 kilowatt and go up to the 64 for the mid-range and a 77 right at the top. But it is simply just a measure of battery capacity. You've got to remember that most New Zealanders only travel about 40 or 50 k's on average a day. So range anxiety it's just a joke. These cars will go from Auckland to Taupo or from Wellington to Taupo just about on one charge. And let's face it, if you're going to do a trip like that once or twice a year, you're going to stop after 3 hours drive and have a cup of tea and have a rest anyway. The back seat of the M.G.4 is quite spacious. There's plenty of leg room. My feet go under the driver's seat quite well, which is a bit different to what I'd seen on some reviews. They said you can't get your feet under the seat. Well, my feet are right under the driver's seat, no trouble at all. And this is the one with the electric seats. The cheaper model doesn't have electric seats. Plenty of headroom, no trouble at all there. And generally a good place to be. The seat belt on this model pulls right across your shoulder. It's very well positioned. It doesn't cut your throat like some of them do. The big question is, what's it like on New Zealand roads? Well, Our rough chip does generate a bit of noise, so it's not absolutely quiet, but you can hear the noise partly because you haven't got any noise from the noisy petrol engine. And it is, on a good road, very, very quiet. On this country road, which is an old worn chip, it rides very nicely. It goes very well in terms of ride quality and handling and performance. There is a bit of road noise, but it's certainly probably a lot quieter than your normal petrol type vehicle. The other thing they talk about quite often with electric car is regen. Every time you lift off your accelerator, you regen. In other words, your electric motor turns from a driving motor to a generator. This has several options, right down to 1 foot driving. So when you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will come to a complete stop. That's an improvement on the early MG models. Is it quick? Yes, it's quick. The acceleration is very good. And that's what you want. You want the acceleration out of the corners and to pass safely. And the MG does that extremely well. And you see these reviews of electric cars accelerating off down the road, doing the 0 to 60 thing, which you don't do very often. But the acceleration and the power it gives you is quite incredible for the money. What's the handling like? That should answer that question. The handling is very good. You hear all sorts of nonsense about electric cars from people who don't know what they're talking about. With an electric car, you've got the batteries between the wheels, down low. It does give you good handling. Yes, you are pushing weight around a bit, but with the acceleration and the performance and modern technology, that's not really a problem. Lots of SUVs and cars are heavy and they still handle very well. In summary, the MG4 is a good-looking, well-made, nice medium-sized car. If you're looking at buying a new car of any sort, go down to your MG dealer and take one of these out for a drive. You'll be surprised how well they're made and how nice they are to drive. They come with a 7-year battery and drivetrain warranty. And if you're looking at buying something like a Toyota Corolla, it may be well worth spending just a little bit more to get the latest in technology, to get the future of motoring. Where the IC petrol units are going to die out, the electric is undoubtedly the way to go in the near future. To take an MG out for a drive. If you have enjoyed this program, please tick like, please subscribe, and please share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.